I prefer stage to anything. I think I'm probably saying myself, I'm much better on stage than I'm on film. I'm too big for film and television. I do too much. I was told, take it down, Larry, take it down. It's, no, I prefer stage. I was very, very lucky. I got a call to go to an audition at Theatre Royal Stratford East for a new musical they were doing. I'll go down there. I was very nervous about going there because of Joan's reputation. I'd seen her stuff in the West End, great shows, and I thought, oh, that's fantastic work. And her reputation was strong. She was not an easy lady to work with or be with. So I go down to the theatre, and I'm sitting in the foyer area of the theatre, all on my own, waiting to be called in for an audition. And I'm there. It seemed an eternity. It was probably only 10 minutes. Nothing had happened. Nothing came out. And nerves got the better of me. I thought, no, I don't want this. No, I can't cope with this. Because I thought Joan was going to be in there. And I no, I can't cope with this. So I walked back to Stratford Station. And there's a long corridor to go up to the Central Line stairs. And as I was going up, a mate of mine who I'd been at stage school with called Clive Marshall was coming down. He said, oh, you been to audition? I said, yeah. He said, how'd you get on? I said, I lost my bottle, I couldn't do it. He said, oh, come back and keep me company.
Oh.
Thank you, Clive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I walked away and Clive brought me back. What a lucky boy. Oh. And it wasn't, Joan wasn't doing that play, it was her producer, Jerry Ruffles, directed this musical called What a Crazy World. And because of that, the next play on was going to be directed by Brian Murphy. Brian was in the show. And so was Harry H. Corbett, would you believe?
Wow.
Brian said to me, I'm directing the next play, I've got a part, would you like to play in it? I said, stay on. I said, yes, please. So I stayed on for that. Joan Littlewood, being around the back of the theatre, she always used to wander around the gallery out there, top there, but you could still see this ghost. She was going to coming back to do a new show. And Jerry Raffles called me into the office and said, Larry, I'd like you to stay on for the next show. Would you like to do that? I said, yes. He said, no, you've got to keep very quiet about this. He said, because Joan's coming back to direct. She hadn't directed for a while around then. She'd come back to direct and she's seen you do your stuff and she'd like to have you in the show. And it was, oh, what a lovely war. I mean, I was so lucky.
Yeah.
And my time with Joan, I did lots with Joan. Oh dear, I loved her to death. And she was wonderful to me. She was wonderful.
What was it about her that made her a cut above the rest, do you think?
I like to call it a genius. She was a genius of the theatre. The things she told you and how to approach this and do that, and she was hard at times, very hard at times. One day after rehearsal, she kept me on for hours afterwards. I was playing the leading boy, the boy that it was a restoration comedy written by John Wells. She was worried about the way I was physically approaching it, and she said something to me that stuck with me forever since then. She took her shoes off. She said, take your shoes and put mine on. And I put her shoes on and I worked with her and it was so much better. She said, you're wearing the wrong shoes. And since then, my wife hates me to say this, but said when I go for costume fittings, I say, I don't care what you put on me. I want to work through the shoes. I want the right shoes so I feel right in those shoes.
Yeah.
And that was an amazing lesson. I mean, she taught me others, but that lesson, any young actor around, think about your feet, because that's where you come from when you're on the stage.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing moment. Yeah, she stuck with me, wanted to work on me.